Welcome back, all my fellow idiots. So, while in between episodes here, Keesalo has been working on getting some more resources. Still working on getting some nickel and that kind of stuff so that we can get enough get enough nickel, get enough ferrous, that kind of, so that we can make in-bar, so that we can start with power generation here. And Casella's still working on Botania. What else are you working on?
I'm getting the nodes for the dirt
Oh, making
farm.
the nodes for the dirt farm, that's right. I am going to continue to keep working on this stuff, guys, to try to get some technology made. However, I have not yet opened this to see what is in it. Haven't done it. I waited for you guys. Oh, dude. We just got 4 pieces of sugar, 4 pieces of string, a lead, and that was it. Out of that one loot bag, that was all we got.
Well, we try. I got some mobs over here. I'm gonna go beat with a sword.
Hey, I was just getting ready to go over and do that.
Let's see. We got a creeper, a skeleton, and a zombie.
Well, now that I'm here, we'll start getting some more stuff going. Because, as we know, this game just does not like you. It just doesn't.
I got another manicchio.
Good. Hey, didn't you only need the one more for the essence?
No. It needs 8. I had 6. Or no, I had 4. I now have 5. I need 3 more
Oh, okay.
to get a seed. 3 more, and then I can make a seed.
Oh,
of it.
gotcha. Okay.
And then I can start getting the essences to make manicchio.
Q beans.
Oh, my day. Oh,
What'd you do?
my day blooms expired
Oh.
because manta plants deteriorate. You know what? I sit there and made pebbles, and I forgot we had a cobble gem.
Yeah. This is part of the reason why you're making the nodes.
Oh, then we need a lot more than I thought. Because I was counting the 2 for the dirt farm, not the 2 for the cobble.
Well, eventually we were going to do we were going to do 4 things.
Yeah, we need Enderman. We need Ender Pearls now.
Oh, we're going to have to
Don't you even, creeper?
hopefully get some in the mob farm.
You would have thought we would have got lucky with at least 1 or 2 in a loot bag, but
No, see,
never gives us what we need, only
No.
what we don't want.
yeah. Well, sometimes not even a question of what we don't want. It's what we don't need at the moment. But eventually would have wanted is that kind of thing.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I need to
What a work day, what a work day.
switch this. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. And when the day goes slow, it just makes it boring.
I understand
It was
that.
kind of one of them slow days where, we had everything done. The machines are going in their rotation, and so certain machines are down that are normally keeping you busy. But you know what? It's all peaches and cream because tomorrow is my last day for the week, and then I've got a 4-day weekend. And then I'm gone, and I'll be camping until Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm camping in your backyard. I mean, come on. We both know it grows like a forest anyway.
No, not since I cut it all down.
Yeah, it's been a week. It grew back. We're good.
Oh,
Going,
hey, you know what else?
what?
Bleep you.
You know, I wouldn't be your best friend if I didn't pick on you.
I self moderated that one so I wouldn't have to go back in and edit the video to put in the beep.
Like I said, I wouldn't be much of a best friend if I didn't bust your chops every now and then.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Oh, I got
That
another essence.
that is not nice of you.
I got another Malikio essence.
Good.
Oh, and I got a gold helmet.
Out of a bag or just random drop?
Random drop. I killed the zombie.
Nice.
And here, I'll give it to you. That way you can walk around with a gold cap on your head all day.
That's not what I want. Oh gosh.
Yeah, and not very much durability.
Oh no, that's not what I was doing. I made that compressed cobblestone, right, so that I could just, destroy it out and that kind of thing to get gravel, and then I was going to sit there and get sifting on stuff and hopes to getting ores and everything,
Right.
and turned it into compressed, and then remembered afterwards, oh yeah, I don't have a compressed hammer anymore, because I had used the hammer to destroy them, and I'm like, why is it coming back as regular compressed cobble? What's going on? And it is because simply I was a moron. And now normally I don't know how that feels. However, you do. So
Oh.
set you up, you just came right in with it. So I had an interesting conversation with a upcoming DSoU member.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and we were talking about, the government and everything, and we came to the conclusion that one of the biggest problems in today's world and that kind of stuff is that the the government as we know it was founded upon and influenced by traditional European government, and it was both structured for and against certain aspects of that European government to make it our own. However, the big thing about that is our government, as in its original structure, was created in fashion for the original, 13 states, the original 13 colonies.
Right.
Okay? And the biggest issue is we've reached a point in the current U.S. economy and that kind of stuff, that we are currently in a state of the U.S. is just too large for our government to work in any form of efficient capacity the way it was initially set up and designed to do. And both me and him were sitting there talking, and I said, here's the best way to look at it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The best way of looking at it is the fact that what we had, the original foundation of it, okay, put into modern terms where people can kind of get an idea as to where we're going with it, is that imagine you're wanting to build a network, a computer network, right? So you build a server, and that server that you built runs beautifully. I mean, more than beautifully. Okay? And you connect 13 computers with it, and it runs flawless. No issues at all. Everything's good. Everything's easy to handle. Everything's easy to moderate. Okay?
Right.
Now, you take that server, which runs absolutely good, and it allows those 13 computers to talk to each other, interact with each other, maintain a balance between everything. And then what you end up doing is add to that another 37 plus computers. And what you get is errors, things run super slow, computers that you have hooked to it start doing weird things because the interaction processes aren't correctly coded, so they don't work exactly right. The normal stuff. We've all been on computers where, the net traffic in which is being used between all the computers is too bogged down and too glitchy to work the right way. Okay? Happens. We all know that. Okay? That is currently the state of our U.S. government. We have 50 plus individual state governments all underneath one federal government. And we are having tons of issues between all of these individual 50 states and their separate governments. So, the way to fix that would be, what we need to do is scale that back down. Take those 50 plus governments, individual governments that are the states, and turn those into territories. You have 5 to 6 states per territory, okay? And now you take that and you go through, that takes it down into about, say, roughly 10 to 12 territories, okay? And then take, we have the individual, like the Virgin Islands, which has its kind of own government processing underneath, the U.S. banner, like Washington, D.C., which is a district. It's not a state, it's not anything, but it's subject to federal law as well as local law, its own local law. Okay? Well, now you've narrowed that down, and that becomes a 13th district between, the way things lie. Now we're back to having, instead of 50 plus computers accessing that one server, we're now down to 13 supercomputers which access that one server so that the balance and everything is remaintained. And within the territories, those states can still have their own individuality between state and that kind of stuff, but the state, there is no more official state law as it is now a territory law, and all of those states that are involved within that territory are subject to that territory law rather than having their own individual laws. They're still separate states, but they have to follow by what the territory law is. And it narrows down, then we're back to, look, we're not 50 plus individual governments running underneath one federal. We are now 13 territories running underneath one federal. And, that's exactly what the original system for our government was set up as.
I could see that, I guess.
So, what do you think about that logic? Your thoughts on it, and anybody who actually is watching the video, and that kind of thing, write your own opinions down in the comment box. And if you agree, if you disagree, if you agree, put down, that you agree, the reasons why you agree, anything like that. If you disagree and you think it's the most stupidest idea you've ever heard, hey, hashtag Keesalo's an idiot. We'll blame him. Not saying it's his fault, but he'll take the blame. Okay, we'll just go that route. But if you if you visualize it, you change the perception by which everybody thinks that they know what's going on and that kind of stuff, and you visualize it using the concept of modern technology and stuff that people can relate to and that kind of thing, and you change it into that kind of format, it makes people go, yeah, you kind of have a point. It's just, the U.S. is just, it's collapsing in on itself for the sheer fact that we have reached a point by which we are too big for our own britches, so to speak. So, yay, nay?
Oh, I don't know, man.
I mean, each state can still retain its own individualism and its own traditions and its own history. However, it's now governed underneath a territory law that affects not only, a single state, but a group of states that are right there involved within its own same landmass, or, its own border mass, and that kind of stuff. And then in relation to federal government, we take it down from 50 plus individual governments back down to 12 or 13 individual governments and one federal law, whereby then the federal law makes it a whole lot easier to keep up on everything the way the original ideas and structure of the law was originally founded. Because of the biggest issue that I can see is the exact same issue we run into via the paranormal field all the time, which is too many people who think they know they're right when they're not necessarily right. And the way to eliminate that is to show them, educate them, and make the process better. To make the process better, let's simplify it back down to what it was originally founded upon. And instead of one little server trying to take on 50 plus computers and overload itself, we're back down to, well, now we have 13 supercomputers where each computer could originally do what 5 to 6 individual computers could do, but the server only has to maintain the balance now between the 13, not 50 plus.
Yeah, but see, there's going to be a lot of different political aspects that are not going to want that, because even with that being able to derivative and the states being able to control themselves, certain companies wouldn't be able to have their jurisdictional say to that area to, promote what they want. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, but I threw political partyism out. We're not talking about political parties.
Well, I know we're not, but that's
we're
still gonna
talking
be a
about
part
the
of it,
structure
because
of the government.
yeah, but that's just it. That structure is manipulated by those people.
That's why I'm saying we get rid of. That's to balance everything back out, to get rid of the manipulation that is currently being invested in by the parties.
Yeah, but I don't think we'd ever be able to truly get it out, because there's too many big companies that play a part in that, of products that we buy, that we could boycott enough of them to make them throw that out.
Here's the thing. It was also put to me. It's similar debate. I'm not saying you're wrong or right. This is just us
Oh yeah,
chewing
this is
the fat
just throwing
here.
ideas back. Yeah, I know.
However, those companies who currently would oppose and throw, a huge fit over a system like that and that kind of stuff, okay? These are the same companies who, say you're a logger, okay? And you turn around and you cut down a tree, okay? You get that tree cut, and say that tree's only like 2 miles from your house because you live along the riverside. Okay, just throwing it out for just distance sake. Okay, so the
Right.
river's like a mile from your house. It's essentially in your backyard. Okay, and you work as a logger. Okay, so you cut down this tree. You float it down the river 6 miles to a processing center. That processing center takes the tree, cuts it down into logs. Okay? Then they take those logs and they ship those overseas to China. Then they turn around and China forms those planks and that kind of stuff that were made from the logs. They form those into cutting boards. Then they turn around and ship those cutting boards all the way back so that your significant other can go into the store and buy a cutting board, which now sits on your countertop. Okay? The whole process of making a, say $5-10 cutting board, okay, cost 670 approximate percent more in the resources that it was used to do that than what the final product was.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, if everything's in territories, and those territories then to barter and ally with the neighboring other territories within that area, they then have to also change their scope as to how they do things. And having changed their scope on how they do things, now instead of going for these things outside of what our area is supposed to be,